Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, this is part two of my Oath Keepers trial update. The defense began making their case at the end of last week, and their overall argument is that these people weren't there to attack the Capitol. There was no official plan to do that. They were only in DC to provide security to VIP guests like Roger Stone. But an attorney for defendant Kenneth Harrelson took it a step further. He actually tried to make his client out to be completely ignorant about how government works. He told the jury, quote, he didn't know there was a House of Representatives or a Senate. He didn't know what an electoral college was. Really? Never watched Saturday morning cartoons, huh? So the jury also heard from Stewart Rhodes himself. He falsely claimed that the election was unconstitutional because of changes that were made during the pandemic. Reporters say that Rhodes sometimes addressed the jurors directly, which is clearly a mistake. I mean, if you watched, I didn't watch it, but I did read some about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. It does not go over well with jurors when you do that. Some of them said it was very off-putting that she kept looking at them and talking to them directly. So Rhodes made false claims also about that Lafayette Square incident. You guys probably remember everybody was calling Trump Bunker Boy afterwards because he allegedly went and hid out in his White House bunker because there were protesters outside, BLM protesters that got roughed up, that got completely violently attacked by his people. They never did anything, but Rhodes tried to say that it was Antifa and that they tried to attack the White House. Rhodes also tried to say that the impetus for the Oath Keepers group was the George W. Bush presidency. So the prosecutor called him out on that one rightly. She cited that the group was formed after Barack Obama became the first Black president. And that's something that even his wife, who I've had on the show, has confirmed. Tasha Adams has confirmed that that's when the group started. And the prosecutor also brought up Rhodes' mistrust of Senator Mitch McConnell because he's married to a Chinese woman. Rhodes didn't deny that, actually, but he falsely claimed that McConnell's wife is tied to the Chinese Communist Party. So they're trying to lay down the case that they're somewhat racist, and that's the whole basis for the group. There is something to that. Again, when I spoke with Tasha Adams, I had her on the show. If you guys haven't seen that, I broke it down into like a 9 or 10 part segment because we talked for like 3 hours. But yeah, she did confirm some of it. Rhodes is not racist against all nationalities. He especially is not racist against Hispanic people because he is part Hispanic, but he definitely does seem to have some sort of issue with Black people. Rhodes also tried to blame some of his violent rhetoric after January 6th on alcohol. And when he was asked about his relationship with Kelly Sorrell, the jury got a really good taste of how gross he is. Rhodes was asked if he exerted control over her. Because remember, she's doing some of his bidding. She's sending these messages, as I mentioned in part one, telling people to erase any evidence, cover things up, keep quiet. So when he was asked that, do you exert control over her? He replied, quote, do we have to get into kink, really? And then he said, quote, outside the bedroom, she's definitely a type A. Inside the bedroom, she switches to a sub. Seriously? Like, I'm like vomiting in my own mouth. Do we need to know that? Is that what they were asking? This guy is so full of himself, and he clearly is trying so hard to make himself out to be this alpha male. I'm in charge. Oh, she likes it rough. I mean, he's so gross. I don't want to think about Stewart Rhodes naked at all or in a sexual way. So gross. Anyway, Rhodes also threw his members under the Trump train, claiming that he never told them to enter the Capitol on January 6th. And he said that when he learned that some of them did, he said, quote, that was stupid. In addition, Rhodes tried to say that he never instructed his members to bring weapons to DC. Unfortunately for him, the prosecutor came with receipts. She read a message that Rhodes wrote to his members before January 6th. It read, quote, "Okay, we will have a QRF. This situation calls for it." Will was all in capitals. And then Rhodes did admit to this. When asked if he planned to abolish the Biden government, he said, quote, "We were prepared to walk the founder's path, yes. If the government steps outside of the Constitution, it puts you in a bad place." So he is so like Jack Nicholson's character in A Few Good Men. He wants to tell these people that he's in charge, that this was his doing, that, yeah, I was the tough guy that was going to step up and save the country. He wants them to know that so bad he is willing to tank his own defense. So also, last week, at the end of the week, the fiance of defendant Jessica Watkins testified, Montana Sinif. He indicated, or intimated at least, that she left the Army early due to being transgender and because of some of the harassment that she faced. And Sinif said that the Oath Keepers gave her the same kind of purpose that she missed from being in the military. And then Sinif expressed his dislike for Rhodes, and he said that he didn't join the Oath Keepers because he didn't like Rhodes. He also discouraged Jessica Watkins from attending the January 6th protest because he said that the planned quick reaction force of weapons that they had could, quote, ratchet up the situation. And he said that Watkins never mentioned a plan to enter the Capitol, which, you know, defense attorneys might try to seize on, but she also never told him that she was taking weapons with her to DC. So she hid that from him as well. So she could have hidden the plan. And the jury saw what Watkins said on a Zello chat during the attack. So when another user mentioned draining the swamp, Watkins replied, quote, "Trump's been trying to drain the swamp with a straw. We just brought a shop vac." So I will have more updates for you guys in the coming days. And then the trial should be complete by the end of next week. So we could have a verdict, you know, by Thanksgiving, I would say, if we're lucky. And I would think that the jury would want to be done with it by then. So we will probably know by Thanksgiving the fate of these people. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.